If you own a home in Crystal Lake, especially anywhere near downtown, Brink Street, or the Metra station, this video may directly affect what your home is worth over the next few years. Because something is quietly changing in Crystal Lake right now, and most homeowners have no idea it's happening. It's not a rumor, it's not a prediction. It's a series of real documented public and private investments that are slowly changing what buyers may be willing to pay to live near downtown Crystal Lake. And if you're thinking about selling in the next 1 to 3 years, understanding this shift could make a very real difference. I'm Ozzy with the Tamara and Ozzy team, and today I want to walk you through what we're seeing on the ground, what the data is starting to show, and why some parts of Crystal Lake may be entering a completely different pricing cycle than the rest of the city. Let's get into it. Here's the context. Crystal Lake has always had good bones. A real downtown, 2 metro stations, the Rouse Center, a farmer's market, local restaurants, a brewing scene, walkable retail. But for a long time, downtown has kind of lived in the background of the Crystal Lake story. Most people move here for the schools, for the lake, for more space, for better value compared to Chicago. Downtown has usually been seen as a nice bonus, not the main reason people buy. That may be changing, because what most homeowners haven't fully processed yet is that Crystal Lake has been quietly executing a coordinated multi-million-dollar strategy to reposition downtown as the economic core of the city. Not a facelift, not a refresh, a repositioning. And when cities do this successfully, something very specific tends to happen. Homes near that downtown stop moving with the city average and start outperforming it. And we may be starting to see early evidence of that happening right now in Crystal Lake. So what's actually happening? Let me break it down. First, the park. Depot Park, sitting right next to the Crystal Lake Metro station, is undergoing a nearly $7 million reconstruction. New performance space, fountains, pedestrian connections, landscaping, gathering spaces. And here's the part most people missed. When the bids came in, they were over $1.5 million above the engineer's estimate. The city council called it a tough pill to swallow. And then they approved it anyway. That matters because that's not a city cutting corners. That's a city making a commitment. The ribbon cutting is set for June 13th, 2026. And after that date, walking distance to the park will likely start showing up in listing descriptions. And when listing language changes, buyer psychology usually follows. Second, the parking policy almost nobody noticed. Crystal Lake quietly changed downtown commuter parking. Over 1,100 parking spaces near downtown used to become free at 4 p.m. Now, they become free at noon. That's 5 extra hours every weekday of free downtown access. That's not just parking, that's economic engineering. Because when parking is easy, people stop. When people stop, they spend. When they spend, businesses survive. And when businesses survive, downtown starts feeling like a destination. And destinations command premiums. Third, and this may be the sleeper, the rail yard. Right now, the Metra rail yard near downtown acts like a psychological wall. Noise, industrial use, visual clutter, a boundary buyers don't always consciously notice, but definitely feel. That rail yard is now moving towards Woodstock. And when that industrial presence starts leaving, the walkable footprint of downtown Crystal Lake expands. Properties that used to feel like they were on the wrong side of the tracks may get mentally repriced. That's not speculation. That's a pattern seen in city after city. And while most people are focused on the park, private money is already moving in. Between new residential development, the Enclave, Water's Edge, and continued improvements around Brink Street, developers are already betting on downtown Crystal Lake before many homeowners have fully noticed. And when institutional money moves before the public does, that's usually worth paying attention to. Crystal Lake's overall walk score is about 30, which basically means you need a car for almost everything. But the blocks near downtown, some score over 80. And Redfin's own research shows homes in areas like that often command roughly $78,000 more. Most buyers shopping Crystal Lake have no idea they're stepping into a premium micro market. Here's where many sellers get this wrong. They look at citywide averages. They hear prices are up. They assume, okay, everything is moving. But markets don't always move evenly. Micro markets emerge, and downtown Crystal Lake may be becoming one of them. Homes near downtown are already moving faster. Buyers are using different language, and lifestyle is becoming part of the value equation. Not just bedrooms, not just bathrooms, not just square footage, lifestyle. And when cities make coordinated investments like this, what usually follows happens in 3 phases. Phase 1, early movers, smart buyers, buyers who see what's coming before the data fully catches up. That's where Crystal Lake appears to be right now. Phase 2, the investment opens. People can physically see it. Media covers it. Agents start marketing it. Buyer psychology shifts. Depot Park opens June 13th. That may be the start of Phase 2. Phase 3, the premium gets fully baked into comps, into appraisals, into future pricing, and by then, the early opportunity is gone. Most homeowners in Crystal Lake still think we're pre-Phase 1. That window may be closing. There are 3 phases to a downtown repricing event. Phase 1, smart buyers move early. Phase 2, the investment opens and perception shifts. Phase 3, the premium is fully priced in. Crystal Lake may be in Phase 1 right now. Quick question, out of curiosity, are you thinking about selling soon or just starting to explore? Drop it in the comments. We read every one. Think about who's moving into Crystal Lake today. A lot of them aren't comparing Crystal Lake to Cary or to rural McHenry County. They're comparing it to Libertyville, Geneva, Barrington, even neighborhoods closer to Chicago. Why? Because many buyers leaving the city aren't just looking for more space. They're trying to preserve identity. They still want coffee shops, walkability, a farmer's market, a downtown, a train, a sense of place. And Crystal Lake may quietly be becoming one of the few towns in the northwest suburbs that can offer all of that, while still offering suburban space. And there are only so many homes within a true 10-minute walk of downtown. That's the scarcity, and scarcity creates premiums. So what does this mean if you're a homeowner? Number 1, stop pricing yourself against city averages. If you're near downtown Crystal Lake, you may not be selling an average Crystal Lake home. You may be selling access to a premium micro market. And that requires a different pricing strategy. Number 2, understand who your buyer actually is. Many of these buyers may be relocating from Chicago or inner ring suburbs. They're not just buying your home, they're buying your lifestyle. Number 3, you're not selling square footage. You're selling the ability to walk to a $7 million park, catch a train to Chicago, grab coffee on foot, live in one of the few truly walkable pockets of Crystal Lake. That's a completely different story, and it requires a completely different strategy. If your home is near downtown Crystal Lake, you're not selling square footage. You are selling lifestyle, and lifestyle often commands premiums before the rest of the market catches up. If you're thinking about selling in Crystal Lake, whether that's in 6 months or 2 years from now, my biggest advice is simple. Start with a plan, not a sales pitch, not an instant valuation, a real plan. A conversation that looks at your location, your buyer profile, your timing, and what buyers may actually pay a premium for, because citywide averages only tell part of the story. Sometimes, the real opportunity is happening block by block. And right now, that may be exactly what's happening in Crystal Lake. Most homeowners in Crystal Lake still think downtown is a nice amenity. The city is quietly treating it like an economic asset. And that's a very different thing. A $7 million park, over 1,100 parking spaces unlocked 5 hours earlier, a rail yard slowly moving out, private developers bringing hundreds of new residents into the corridor. None of those things by themselves change a market. But when they happen together in the same 18-month window, they start changing buyer psychology. And buyer psychology is what eventually changes home values. The homeowners who understand that early usually make better decisions than the ones who don't. And right now, most buyers haven't fully priced this in yet. Most homeowners haven't either. That gap, that's the opportunity. We'll see you in the next one.